told me that story earlier about Terry Taylor taking down the Iron Sheik. Why do you think he was so hated, and how was your relationship with him? Is it just because he was in positions of power sometimes?
No, he really never was in a position of power.
Agent, I guess.
Yeah, an agent is not really power. It can be probably a boring job sometimes too. But he would take the agent job and make it like he did have power. He would create power, if that's the right way to put it. Terry was just, I don't know, he just had always a weird way how rubbing people the wrong way. And I could give you a million things with me, but I'll give you one where, we're always trying to help friends get a job or something. Well, I was trying to help my best friend get in the company, and Kevin Sullivan had given me the office to get him a job, and all Terry had to do is just go up to and see him, lock up and see how to put his boots on, and he was going to have a job. So we get out there, and so Terry says, "Show me your base." And even I didn't know what he was talking about. Everybody around was, what he's talking about, lock up.
Okay, because I would say a base would be an amateur wrestling position.
Exactly. Well, we always wondered what he was talking about, and so what it did, it took my buddy from being able to start. Okay, well, let's take you to the power plant. But Terry just had a way of just rubbing everyone the wrong way.
Terry Taylor, another guy, was a Yahoo, full-on Yahoo. Just those two only poke out at me.
Oh, Terry Taylor?
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of a squirrely guy, He was, he came up from the NWA, up from Charlotte and Charlotte area, the Georgia area. He was a Southern boy too. And, you couldn't trust him. Tell you something, go do something else.
And I knew Terry. I worked with him. I was real green, but Terry, back then, he was a mega freaking ego. Still does probably, but he's one of the guys with a huge ego that you like anyways. But Terry, they were doing any promotion at all possible, and his was you win a date with Terry Taylor night. And I remember asking Terry, did you really go out on a date? Yeah, man. Shit, I told him what girl to pick. I says, how did it go? He goes, how do you think, man? It's me. But yeah, he was, the only thing that I have the hardest time with is I just look at some guys and it's just like, you just don't look like you could hurt a fly.
Is the honesty that I can remember of it. Because we were in Louisiana, we were in New Orleans, I think. We were at the hotel. We were all at the table, and Terry was sitting next to her, if I remember. Lex and Marcus were there, and a couple other girls were there. And I just remember getting hammered. And I got up, and I got to push the table away to get up, spill some drinks. I'm like, I'm going back to the room, I'm done. And all I remember is I went back to her room that night and went to bed. A couple hours later, here comes here comes Marcus in the room with the girl. And the girl jumps into bed with me. And I found out the next day that she kept talking about me after I left. Lex and Marcus took her to Waffle House to eat with Terry Taylor. She went back with Marcus and Lex. She went with Marcus because she wanted me the whole time. Couldn't stop talking about me. And then the next day I was bragging around Terry that I had sex with her, fucked or whatever. And Terry didn't like that. My biggest heat issue came with Terry on a flight, a red-eye flight, either from it was West Coast, so it was a red-eye, so it was either from Vegas or from LA. To where we're in coach, exit row seat, exit row aisle. There's J.J. Dillon on the aisle. I'm in the center, and Terry Taylor's in the window seat. I'm sitting there going, this is going to be miserable. And all I can remember is the stewardess walks up and goes, Mr. Riggs, would you like to grab your bag? You've been upgraded first. And Terry pitched a fit that he had better mileage, he was more higher ranking mileage or whatever, and that he should have got the upgrade, not me. JJ didn't care. JJ was going to sleep. He done this JJ position like this on his seat. And I just went, I got up, sat up, got my bag. Said, yes, ma'am. Can I get a Coors Light? She said, sure. And I just remember looking back at Terry and made a face at him, and he was furious that the rookie didn't give up his seat to the veteran. So I guess some guys still did back then. I didn't. Went up, got my seat, and from that point on, I had a lot of heat with him. I think a few weeks after that, speaking of Dick Snake, he's calling. With Terry, we went to TV that day, or a few weeks later down in Florida, in Fort Myers, of all places. And Terry wanted me to put over an enhancement guy, because the enhancement guy was going to work Scott Hall on the Saturday Night TV taping. And the way Terry put it over, Terry goes, we think the fans here in the building, if they saw him beat you here in a dark match, they might be fired up for him and think that he has a chance on TV to beat you or to beat Scott Hall. And I looked at Terry and said, are you saying that with a straight face to me? Because even I know Scott Hall's match on a Saturday night TV tape is going to be his gimmick, boom, clobber onto the guy, his gimmick, boom, beat up the guy, boom, finish, boom. That was it. He wasn't going to get a chance to even get a shine spot. You know, Scott knew how to work if he was working Saturday night, he knew his gimmick. And I remember Terry going, was this your hometown? I'm like, no, but I'm not doing that for this guy because it'd be meaningless because the fans are going to buy it. I'm not that up on the card anyway for that to happen. And about maybe 15 minutes later, Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan come walking out. And I'm like, let me guess, I got to do it. And they both went, nah, we're glad you stood up for yourself because even we knew it was wrong. Terry must be mad at you about something because he's trying to get you put over enhancement talent for that reason. Even we knew Terry was wrong. And I'm glad you stood up for yourself.
In the 3 months that I was there, okay, I can remember specifically Terry Taylor, okay? Terry would point out to me that Bobby Heenan was going on the air intoxicated, and I needed to get rid of Heenan. Now, bro, I got to be honest with you. First of all, there was nobody a bigger Bobby Heenan mark than me. First of all, it's freaking Bobby Heenan. Okay. Second of all, John, I never felt he was intoxicated. I never felt he was. I mean, you know, Terry used to tell me all the time, you know, a couple of other people, I never saw it. So Bobby Heenan was the commentator when I was there for those 3 months. Bro, like I said, I probably left on the Friday before this pay-per-view on Sunday. First thing they did was replace Heenan. And bro, that always came back to me where even Bobby believed it. Heenan believed it. And I had to have Mike Tenay remind Bobby Heenan, bro, I wasn't there when you were replaced. You did not get replaced on my dime. I never wanted to replace you. When I left, bro, that was the first thing they did. They took Heenan out and they put Mark Madden in.
One guy that I think is still with them as a trainer in some capacity, who I think you're friends with, even though he has heat with a lot of people, is Terry Taylor.
No, Terry.
Yeah, is he still working for them? And why do you think it is that so many people have heat with him? I heard even Bobby Heenan was alleging that he had something to do with with Bobby's WCW firing.
Well, I don't know about that. Even Schiavone was upset with Bobby because Bobby would show up to broadcast, but in his water bottle wasn't water, it was vodka. So Bobby was doing too much of this. And Terry Taylor's a good friend of mine. I mean, he's one of the finishing coaches at the WWE Performance Center. And if you look back at his career, he's very versatile. He could be the Red Rooster. He could be the guy with the first secretary in WCW. And now he's one of the head finishing coaches.
Oh, they get into it at a bar, both of them drinking. And Terry, he hit Kaz. But see, Terry was smart. He hit him, boy. He took a bump, Kaz did. And he took off running. Terry did. Next day, we're at the Omni. And the shit, he's funnier than shit. He's there at 4:00. He's got his shoot. You know, Kaz had I call him Kaz, but he darn chic. You know, he had a shooting outfit and a working outfit. He had an outfit to go over and an outfit to lose in. It was, you know what I'm saying? No, he had his shooting shit on. And he was there, buddy. He was there at 4:00, man. He's waiting for Terry Taylor to come in the door. But Dusty got a hold of wind of it and calmed it down.
Terry Taylor in TNA. There was an incident. I don't know what happened. Did you have any incidents at all with Terry Taylor? Because I remember he was quoted at saying, it might have been after the incident in England. This is a quote coming from Terry. Flair's acting as if the entire wrestling business owes him. I was really disappointed in him. What are your thoughts on that statement?
I never heard that.
Okay.
I never understood why they fired him. And the sad thing is, this is the kind of stuff that makes you roll over. They fired him 2 days before his wife died. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
And then they all came to the funeral. Let me think about that.
Yes.
They fired Terry Taylor. I don't know why. You know, maybe they have good reasons, or maybe they didn't. But his wife's dying of cancer, right? And she dies. And then all of TNA showed up at the funeral. I mean, to me, how dare them? Right?
Makes no sense.
I mean, it makes no sense at all.
For Terry Taylor, you worked with him in the York Foundation too. A lot of people don't like him. How did you get along with him?
Well, he was strictly a company man, you know. So, but I didn't hang out with Terry. He didn't hang out with none of us. He hung out with the office. So I never did much dealings with him. I mean, just as far as in the ring, he was okay.
Who was it that actually hired you, Bishop?
Terry Taylor, the Bishop will talk to you. They hired me on the spot. Kevin Sullivan was there too.
Was
they
Terry
hired
Taylor
me.
Talent Relations at that time?
I think he was just an agent, talent, whatever he was. But he was. They hired me on the spot. Then I met with Eric. I had to go meet with Eric another day to talk about exactly what my deal would be, and that was it.
Why do so many people hate Terry Taylor? Is it just because
I don't know, man. Me and him always got along. Maybe because he's smart, and sometimes he doesn't know he's condescending. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like he rubs people the wrong way. But I've never had a problem with Terry. I know a lot of friends of mine in the business have. You know, they don't speak highly of him. They hate him and stuff and everything. But like, you know, like I do the podcast with Coney, he calls him Terry the Stooge Taylor. You know, when they did Coney did the racial discrimination suit against him, didn't say very good things about Terry.
Terry had a lot of distractors. He had a problem about keeping his mouth shut and saying the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Interesting.
When he first came in, you know, Sean and I knew him from Tennessee wrestling. We were down there for a little while, and he was booking. So when he came in, we were already there as the Rockers. He came in when they brought him in. He come in his suit, and he came sat with us. And Pat Patterson came over to him. Teddy, you notice you're wearing the suit? We don't do that here. We like to spritz off and look like you just came from the ring. And Terry goes, yeah, everybody does that. That's why I'm going to be different. I'm going to wear a suit. And we were like, oh my, I was like, God, I don't believe you just said that to Pat Patterson, because Pat was second in power at that time. And yes, the next day, he had that red mohawk because I guess he was so cocky they made him Red Rooster. He fucking hated it. He went with it the best he could. His interviews, he would do stuff, incorporate, terms that would fit. Like, I'm excited, cock of the walk and all that stuff. He tried, but he hated that character.
What was worse, the gobbledygook or the Red Rooster? That would have been a good tag team.
Ooh, that's a toss-up right there. Wrestling-wise, what's his name? Guerrero was great.